What's up, college football fans, quarterback fans? Welcome to another QB Spotlight video. We got App State quarterback Brady McBride. I'm Stephen Hamner, and today it's just me and Brady. No guests today. We have two coming up this week though. So if you don't like us, go ahead and like, subscribe, and get away, and come back for the next episode. But if you do like listening to us talk, stick around. Brady, what's going on, dude? What you up to in that old App State mountain town?
Yeah, kind of a slow weekend, just kind of a self-care, if you
Self-care?
will.
Yeah. Go into detail. What kind of self-care? Like a massage, like a facial? Like what are you doing up there?
No, nothing beauty-wise. It's more mental. Just go fishing, wake up, have a slow day, little video games here or there, watch the Genesis Invitational. So that's what I've been on.
Is that a golf tournament?
Yeah, it's a golf tournament. Watch Tiger play.
Okay.
Tiger, Rory. I think John Rahm's going to end up winning it unless he folded the back in the final round. But it's fun. Always fun watching Tiger play.
Yeah, that's true. Good competitor.
Yeah.
But yeah, so for those if this is your first time watching the show, this is QB Spotlight. We're just a quarterback hub. We talk anything and all things quarterbacks. We have guests on from current players to former players to coaches to anyone involved with the quarterback position. And then, of course, we have these type of episodes where it's just me and Brady chop it up. So, again, like, subscribe, all the YouTube stuff. But let's go ahead and talk about the quarterback content. It's really not much right now, but one thing we were talking about off air is the XFL, right? And so I think there's one more game left. Have you got a chance to watch any of it?
No, I'm gonna watch Ben DiNucci here in a little.
Okay.
I like him. One of my best friend, his older brother was his roommate, so I just always followed him just kind of through that, and then being on my favorite team, Cowboys, and he's got some sweet hats that he makes. That Dallas hat right there. So He looks like he's got it going on off the field. See if he can put it together on the field.
I read an article about him today in The Athletic talking about that brand and how. Do you see that? I don't know how much money he's making, but he's doing pretty well.
Yeah, I think he makes a good bit. He's probably good without football because that thing absolutely blew up around the Dallas area. Every Mavs player, they're partnered with the Mavs, Cowboys, Stars, so it's a big thing in Dallas, and it's almost getting pretty mainstream now. So if you're real cool, you probably don't wear them anymore. But I still rock mine, especially out here.
Have you? We'll stay on Ben DiNucci. Did you see the episode of The Room? Jordan Palmer and Kyle Allen, they had DiNucci on. And for those who are watching, we're big fans of The Room. We're like the C- version. Did you watch that episode?
Yeah, I did. I think so.
Yeah.
I just remember his voice. Yeah, it was really distinctive.
Yeah, I thought he had some interesting perspectives of playing the XFL, but he asked a hilarious question, something about what would you do? Would you rather have fingers for toes or toes? Do you remember that? Or toes for fingers?
Yeah, it was fingers for toes or toes for fingers.
Something like that.
Everything I've heard from him is super funny, dude.
Yeah.
Cool dude to be around. So.
Was your roommate at James Madison or was he?
Nah, he was his. He was a punter. So my roommate was an Australian punter at Texas State.
Okay.
We lived together for 2 or 3 years. And then his older brother was a punter at James Madison for 6 years. And so they were roommates up there. And that's kind of
gotcha.
Friend of a friend.
Have you watched any of the XFL so far?
I watched a little bit of the, I'm not even going to try and name the team, Paxton Lynch team, Orlando Guardians.
Okay.
Versus the Roughnecks.
The Orlando Guardians. Your former teammates on that team.
Savion?
Yep.
I did see that.
Yeah,
I didn't even think to look for him, but I think I saw some on Instagram.
Okay, so the Roughnecks. Okay, this is great podcasting. But the Roughnecks quarterback was Brandon Silvers. Remember him?
He's jumped around the league, huh?
Yeah, he's jumped around in these startup leagues, but he was really good at Troy, I believe. I think he was really good at Troy in college. And then his backup, who played some too, is Cole McDonald. You remember him?
Yeah. Yep. He was in the same podcast episode with DiNucci, I'm pretty sure.
That's right. Yeah, he's a stud. I think
he's a beast looking.
He had a rushing touchdown. Cole McDonald did. So I think they must have used him for different situations. And then, did you already say who the Orlando quarterback was?
It was Paxton Lynch, but he got benched. And then Quentin Dormady, the guy I know.
That's right.
Our dads used to coach together growing up, so we were ball boys and all that together. And then
cool.
he moved away and just blew up. Had Bama, Tennessee, ended up going to Tennessee, and then kind of journeyman just like me.
Yeah.
Went to
I remember.
Houston, then he went to Central Michigan and ended there.
Yeah. Yeah, good for him. Who else? Did anyone else play yesterday? I can't remember if anyone else played yesterday or not.
It was the Arlington or the
right.
Dallas team, Renegades.
Yeah. Remember their quarterback?
Nope. I just remember seeing the Rock speech.
Man, I need to look up the Renegades quarterback. I watched some of the game today, though. It was San Antonio against were they against? Oh, they're against the team St. Louis. AJ McCarron was playing on him. AJ McCarron for St. Louis. Yeah, he's like the biggest name, I think.
Yeah,
or one of the biggest quarterback names in the XFL. And then
I know who plays tonight. It's Jordan Tama.
Yep.
He's playing.
Oh,
I don't know what team he's on. He's not on the Seattle team. That's Danucci's team. So
and Seattle plays tonight, so it's got to be. So that's who you're playing, right? Seattle plays tonight.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's fun to watch. I mean, we'll watch any football, but it's fun for me to keep up with these quarterbacks that I watch. Okay, Arlington is Drew Plitt. I don't know if you remember him. He played at Ball State.
Okay.
But for me, it's fun to watch all these quarterbacks that I watched in college still have ways to play and continue to rip it.
Did you watch Perez? Am I tripping on his name?
Yeah, I did. Was it Luke
like
Perez?
Luis.
Luis, that's it. He's been around for a while. And
Was he at A&M Commerce? Am I thinking of the same dude?
I'm pretty sure. Yep.
And he balled out last year in the either USFL or XFL.
Yep, I think it was USFL because this is the XFL's like first time back in like 2 years, I think, or 3 or something.
It's weird because I swear I have an XFL Roughneck shirt.
You probably do. If you remember PJ Walker, he got some starts with the Panthers this year. He balled out with the Roughnecks a few years ago, and now he's back in the league. That's a pretty cool example, actually. Garrett Gilbert started for the Cowboys a few years ago, like had a spot start too. When Prescott got hurt, I believe.
Yeah,
and
he was with Danucci.
Yeah, so he must have started. He started one of those or a few games, but I think before that year, he was in one of these developmental leagues. Mm-hmm. So that's if you're a quarterback out there, like in a bubble-ish situation, you stick around, you can keep balling out, and who knows what happens.
Do you remember that league in? I think it was in Austin. Johnny Football was in it.
Oh man,
they were like black and orange. Spring, yeah, it was the spring league.
Yeah, the spring league. I don't even know. I kind of remember that.
That's not here anymore, I don't think.
No, I have no idea. Actually, hope no one crushes us. All our thousands of followers crush us. Yeah, no, it's always fun. I think what makes it interesting is because some of these guys can still play, so it's like weeding out the guys that just need more film and more opportunities to display on film that they can still play. It's like, okay, those guys can still play. And then it's like, there's also going to be guys that have hit their ceiling and there's like no more development kind of left. But I'm hoping the league sticks around.
Yeah. I mean, they have the funds for it. I know I saw the salaries. So each game, the winner, or they all get paid $5,000 if they're playing. So they got 48 people. That are on the active roster, 5 are on the team but are not active for the game. They get 1,000. The rest of the team get 5,000. You win the game, you get a bonus 1,000, so that's $6,000. And I believe there's 10 games, so there's potential to make good chunk of change in a little time. Yep. And then playoffs, each is a 10,000 bonus. So, I mean, you're talking about getting up there almost in the 6 figures for, I don't know, like what, 3 months of work?
Yeah. Especially that allows you to live and keep chasing after that dream. And I'm sure a lot of guys will like we have guys that have been or that used to play in the league that have been reached out that just haven't gone to it. But if you want to keep playing, it allows you to keep playing. And in the off season, you are probably like a skills coach or a coach at a high school somewhere, you're still able to make a good living. I do think I saw the quarterbacks get paid more. I want to say I saw the Brett Hundley. Remember that name? Brett Hundley.
UCLA.
Yeah, and then drafted second round by Green Bay. I want to say he signed for like $200,000. Yeah, I could be wrong, but I read an article there that the quarterback salary is a little bit different than the XFL.
Oh, okay.
maybe I'm wrong, but it would make sense. I mean, it's the highest salary in every other football league, so including college now.
I know that the XFL is paired with the NFL. Did you know that? As like they're working together essentially.
Yeah, I know that as of like 13 seconds ago now, thanks to you.
All my knowledge is off Twitter, so I got up, had a cup of coffee, and scrolled on Twitter like it was the morning newspaper.
Yeah, I do think the fact that you're right. I think the fact that it's paired with the NFL, there's a chance, right? There's a chance that it survives and keeps going with the ownership, and they got Jordan Palmer's involved with it. He develops their quarterbacks. One of the best quarterback coaches out there. So it seems like they're doing things the right way to sustain it, and they're selling it as a developmental league. They're not selling it as like, hey, this is the next league. Like, hey, you can get back to the NFL and you can get better here.
Just kind of like coexisting with the NFL, not necessarily like competing.
Right, like a true minor league. Like that's what if a true minor league, which I think is huge for players, especially quarterbacks. I mean, think about it. Like NFL rosters carry 2, sometimes 3 quarterbacks, right? So that's what let's say between 60 and 90 quarterbacks are active every week, give or take. And maybe some teams have a practice squad guy. Like if you have 2 on the roster, you probably have a practice squad guy. If you have 3, you probably don't have a practice squad quarterback. So let's just call it like 100-ish quarterbacks have a job in the NFL, including practice squad every year. That's a tough job to break into.
Yeah, a lot of competition.
So I think it makes sense having developmental leagues because now if you have, let's just say 100-ish guys in the NFL level, practice squad, third stringers, and now you have you have 24 extra spots, include the XFL, and then if you have the USFL, then you have 20. So now you've created like 50 more jobs essentially.
Yeah,
to develop
at least.
Yeah.
I also I love their jerseys.
Do you? Are you a Jersey? You a Jersey guy?
Yeah. Come on. I gotta. Usually you get in those leagues and they just have like you don't even see a brand on them or like I don't know. It just looks very like movie-ish.
Yeah.
But they got the Under Armour. I remember. I think I tweeted something about the Roughnecks. They had nice unis. It just looked sharp. Looked official. They're playing in nice stadiums.
You got nice stadiums. I mean, I'm not a big uniform guy, but you're right. If you have a good, I'm old, remember? But I mean, yeah, if you got good uniforms, it's gonna help. Look good, feel good, play good, all that fun stuff.
Do you believe that?
I mean, maybe for some people. Why do you?
Yeah. Yeah, you can't be looking dust out there.
I agree. No, I agree. But at the same time, I think you can look good, feel good, and play bad too.
Yeah, but at least looking good gives yourself a chance.
That's true. No, you're right. You do have to look good, and you have to feel good about how you look to play good. Maybe I don't know. I don't play very good, so I'm not the best guy to ask.
Did you have any rituals playing? Like you always wore same cleats and.
No, I used to. I don't know if maybe you had something similar to this when I asked you, but I used to I would walk down and go to the corner of the end zone, the opposite corner of the end zone, like knee and pray, go to the other corner, knee. I just would make like 4 corners and do that.
Just annoying the field?
Yeah, just like, exactly. I should have thrown some holy water, or I should have had some people fast for me or something that had played better. But I'd have to do that like before like anyone else is out there, like hours, like when you're still in like shorts and a shirt type deal.
Yeah. No spat, no like.
I would always, I would never. So if it was like somewhat chilly, I would wear like one sleeve, like doing one sleeve. That looked cool. But I would only do my throwing arm because back then, like you had to roll up the other sleeve, and so like it would like cut my circulation off. I didn't want to mess with my right arm, and so I would just like keep one arm sleeve down. I didn't have a ton of rituals. I'd always take a nap before the games.
You were like Chandler?
Yeah, like Chandler. I didn't listen to very like intense music. So I was probably more like you in this. I listened to like the Red Hot Chili Peppers and just be super chill. I listen to like Christmas music sometimes before games.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, like I think the one time I listened to like something to get me fired up, like I came out just like slinging, but to the other team, and I was like, man, this is not a good look.
There is.
Yeah, this was getting too jacked up. But yeah, rituals. I wish if I was playing now, I would have the best pregame routine. I mean, my rotator cuff would be fired up, my little trap would feel good. Like I would be like ready to rock and roll for sure if I knew what I know now.
Yeah.
So take that with So take that with a grain of salt.
I was just trying to picture your swag back in 08.
Oh man, it was
What
10.
was it, 08?
2010 was my first year in college. 2009 was college. Yeah, 2009, 10. One of those years was college. Yeah, so it was it was back when like we didn't have a lot of cool stuff, I guess, compared to what you have
Very,
now.
very vanilla.
Yeah, like Russell Athletics sponsor our college or something like that. Russell. Yeah.
They had good jerseys back then, honestly.
Then we got Nike, I think, the second year, and everyone was real excited. Yeah, I didn't have a ton of like cool look about me, I guess. Maybe I did. Who knows? It's a long time ago, Brady. That was like time ago. But yeah, I think speaking of like XFL and second and I guess secondary leagues, minor leagues, we won't get too much into the guests we have coming up this week, but he's in one of those leagues, so that'll be fun to pick his brain about some things and kind of what they do and what their offseason looks like, because they play like not during the regular football season. So that'll be a fun interview for any quarterback fans. I want to jump on that.
Yeah, I don't know many like the rule changes throughout league to league, so
yeah, good point too.
I'm sure there's rules that change the way you play. So
absolutely. Yeah, no, and this guy that we'll have up, he started 1 or 2 games in the CFL this past year, so it'll be fun to talk about.
Yeah.
But yeah, off season's rolling around. I mean, I know y'all start spring ball soon, and a lot of teams start spring ball soon, and then NFL starts OTAs in about 2 months, and so I know we're kind of in the thick of the off season, but the season will be here before we know it. But what are your top 3 favorite things about the off season, and then your least 3 favorite things about the off season, just in general?
3. All right, 3 favorite. Here we go.
Okay.
I like the weekends. We get our weekends on the off season. I mean, I love like during football, you only have like everything's not fun. Like so you're gonna have these hard workouts, but like just doing them with friends that you enjoy being around and just like staying after and the locker room talks and stuff like that. That's probably you get the most time for that. And when the workout's done, you just hop in the tubs and kick it with your boys. And so I would say you get a lot more of that time during the off season. Third thing, I'm gonna stick with 2.
Stick with 2. I was thinking your third thing was gonna be like co-hosting QB Spotlight podcast.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking up here. I didn't know if I could say it out here.
What are your 3 least favorite things then?
Probably the 6 a.m. runs.
Cool.
It's easy
that's
one.
That's every college player's least favorite thing.
Yeah. Man, there's a lot of things to choose from on the spot. Like that's the first thing that comes to my mind.
Yeah.
There's a lot of stuff like focus on the school. Everyone kind of tweaks up their focus during the off season to make sure you're on the grades.
Yeah, fair.
So there's a lot more pressure on the grades, but because you don't have football season, but
right.
And then third least favorite thing is I'm gonna go 2 and 2.
2 and 2.
If I had some prep for it, I'd have 3. But
I would say sometimes even like I remember in college, like it was you loved the off season because you had a little break, your body could recover mentally. But at the same time, you kind of missed the season because there's more like structure. You know what I mean? Sometimes it's like, especially at that age, you're like going, okay, you got this and this and this and this, and your day's done. During the off season, you have a bit more free time, which is good. But at the same time, it's like sometimes you just miss that structure.
Maybe. That's subjective, but yeah.
Yeah, no, that's fair. Maybe I'm just talking about. Maybe I'm a psycho. Just talking about myself. I do agree with you on the weight room stuff in college, even though it was like hard and you got trash cans set up and it's just like it can be tough at times. It is fun with like your teammates though. Like you kind of look forward to it. And then you're all talking about it after, like during the season, you're always talking about for the most part, you're talking about who you're playing and you kind of staying focused. During the off season, you're like, whew, that was crazy. We got to come back tomorrow and do the same thing. And you get to kick with your guys. But do y'all, how often do you throw during so let's talk about the off season. So right now you're in the off season at school. Whenever you're in the off season away from school, when you have 3 weeks off in May or whenever it is, you get to come home for a little bit. Is that about right? Like 3 weeks off or so, give or take?
Yeah.
What does that look like? Like, what do you just
in terms of like off season, like what I'm doing football wise?
Like, what do? You just take completely those weeks off? Are you still working and throwing? Like, what are you doing?
If anything, I'm throwing.
Yep.
I'm enjoying my break from the weight room and the field, unless I'm around some of my receivers from high school around the area, or just get out and throw, toss it. So other than that, I mean, mostly in May, like that's when you have off time, so you're planning like what you're gonna do, like a trip or go see the family. So it just depends.
Will you do like a vacation at all? Or you just get home and just like
Lord willing, hopefully.
Yeah.
But I'll probably come back to Dallas and kick it with the fam. So.
Maybe come out to Austin, Texas for no reason. Maybe
I'll drive back so I can drive around the city in the state.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea. The off season was it's always like it just goes by too quick too in a way. Those breaks because like when you get back, it's just like you start thinking about the season. June rolls around, you got those summer workouts. It's
full throttle. Yeah. You're not really breaking until you got maybe like a week in the 4th of July, and then you got like four days right before fall camp starts, and you're there until December, January, depending.
I think when you get back from that break in July, and you still have like 3 weeks before camp or 2 weeks before, about 3 weeks before camp, that's when it like feels like you're kind of head down. And then when camp rolls around, it's just like, I'm back,
Camp is no distractions.
Not at all. It's long.
No time for distractions.
So let's do this, Barry. Let's talk about what the whole off season, not with like details, but just like time wise, what it looks like. So I think people don't realize like how busy like college, not just quarterbacks, but it's like college football players are, and a lot of college athletes in general. But you really only get a few weeks off in May, then you're back in college, as opposed to like in high school, your whole summer's off besides like team workouts. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So let's talk about the off season a little bit from like when you're done playing. I'll give my experiences. You give your experiences when you're done playing, and November, December, whenever you get done, and then how it picks back up, and then spring ball, and then the break, and then summer, and then we'll end with training camp.
Yeah,
to it is.
Yeah, so your season's done, whether it's a bowl game or not. Well, if it's a bowl game, you probably have a week or two off, probably a week, just depending on what time your game is, because there can be a bowl game like the 20th of December or like after Christmas. So depending on when your bowl game is, like you get a week or some time off, and then practice is a little different. There's more reps for 2s, 3s, younger guys until it's closer to game time than just a normal practice week. But then you do that, you finish up your bowl game, everyone scurries home because you're out of school. I mean, you're the only people really on campus. Like everyone's home. Maybe another sports team, but there ain't nothing to do. You go home, kick it with the fam. Hopefully you got like 3 weeks at least. Hang out, just kind of enjoy your time off. The holidays, watch some more college football and some NFL. You come back to school and you're like, it's a whole new wave of people. Like you got transfers, you got new freshmen, you got new coaches. Like, it could be a whole new world for you. So you kind of really don't know what to expect. And then So
Yeah,
you kind of
I'll jump in real quick, not to cut you off, but I'll jump in just to stay in the same timeline that you're on about like getting being done, and then like right now you're about to start like winter workouts essentially, right? Like you're about to start winter workouts. So the level I played at, there were no bowl games. This is playoffs. So D3 and FCS. This is you go into playoffs, and we never made it either when I was playing. And so we get done. And I remember we got done, and we got done like right at Thanksgiving or something. And so I'm like stoked. I'm like, this is great. We'll probably have like, because we came back, we had like 2 weeks. You come back, you have for finals, and then you go back home. And so I was like, this is great. 2 weeks of just like, they'll give us some time off. We'll get a break for 2 weeks for finals, and then we'll go back home. But I remember the meeting after the game, they're like, hey, Thanksgiving, the Monday I'll get back. We have 2 weeks of working out. I was like, oh my gosh, this is crazy. That was college for you. And then so that was that. So we still had our 6 a.m. workouts before, like during finals. Yeah. And then because it was like a whole new coaching staff that year. And then we went home, and I was like, oh man. But that might be the longest stretch, at least I've had when I played, like that Christmas break, maybe the longest stretch, at least the level I played at. Because if you get home like December 10th and you don't go back to like January 20th or something, then you have like a week of getting settled in, a week of meetings with the team, and then our workout start, like a week after that.
Yeah.
Probably was that similar? Is that similar for y'all? You get like a week of meetings, and
then not really like a week of meetings, just like
intro type week.
Yeah, not mandatory. What am I looking for? If it's not mandatory, it's
voluntary,
optional.
Yeah.
Optional workouts, which you know how that goes. So
yep, I got it. Everyone's
kind of in the weight room, making sure they're not dying the next week, making sure they're running, trying to save themselves if it's not too late. So,
oh yeah, yeah. And then you have your off season for a few months, and spring, and then I guess y'all start spring soon. So y'all probably have off season even after spring ball, huh? Like workouts and stuff. I'm guessing.
Yeah, I'm assuming it's my first time doing spring this early, so
yeah,
I'm gonna just roll with the flow. So
yeah. And so then you got spring, you got your fall camp, you got spring ball, and you're still working out and training in spring ball. I think you have is it like 15 or 16 practices or something along those
15,
lines.
I believe.
15, yeah. And then some schools have spring games, some don't anymore. It kind of just depends now. And then depending on when your spring game ends, you either have more workouts after, or it's like finals time, and then it's like you have like optional type workouts. Is that kind of fair depending on the program? Probably.
Yeah, I think everyone does it a little different just when they finish up spring. But yeah, you probably have a couple, maybe a week of workouts, week or two, and then we'll get this many X amount of lifts in before you leave, and then hit the road if you're done with finals. So
yeah. And then
I think you're forgetting spring break though.
Oh yeah, spring break. Good call.
That's another like checkpoint in the off season.
Good call. Yeah, spring break. Do you go home for spring break? I guess, or
I think I'm a little too old to make a trip now. About to turn 24, so I've had my spring break trips. I'm going home, seeing the family.
Relax. Yep, yeah, that's good. But you're right. Spring break's a good, like, it's thrown in there. Like sometimes that's either before some schools start. Like some schools start late, so it's either before or it's like right after they're done with spring ball, or it's like right in between. Yeah. I think ours was in between. I think we had like half of camp, and then we have spring break, then we have half of training or spring ball after, something like that.
Same. Yeah, I think that's how I've done it every year.
Which I actually kind of like that. I like that breakup. Like it still keeps you like in the off season mind, where it's like mentally you get a break, but then like you still kind of are able to dive back into football. So you got spring break, then you finish the camp, and then you finish the off season, and then May rolls around, and May you get 3 weeks off, right around, something like that.
Yeah, you probably get finals are usually around like 13th or something, and after finals you got the rest of May essentially. Maybe show up like the 31st or the 1st of June.
Yeah.
So that's your last like significant break in the off season.
Because then the June workouts, and then I could talk about the different cycles of workouts and what they're doing, but we'll save that for a strength conditioning podcast ready. But you got the June workouts, and then July, you got that 4th of July. Usually you get the week off, something like that. Yeah. Get the week off, and then once you come back, you have just a few more weeks until camp hits. And then college camp, 2-a-days are, I found out right off the bat that 2-a-days mean a full day event, not just 2 practices. Like you have 2 practices, but it's a full day event.
So it's I was not informed. I was not informed. Like when I was going into college, like I was like, oh yeah, football. Like, but it is 6 a.m. to 9 p.m.
100%, and you get like 1 day off a week. I think there's 1 day, right? One day off.
Something I don't even know. And it sounds real fun. Like day 1, day 2, you're like, you're like, yeah, it's all fun. And then day 7, 8, and you're like, oh,
you just gotta get
like really test you.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. Test you. You gotta just get like locked in. Just know, hey, it's needed. Like we need all these reps. We need these mental reps. It's tough, but like when week 6 rolls around, we'll be happy we had this month of camp essentially. Yeah. Sometimes it can be rough. Like college camp looks like it's probably like 3-ish weeks at last, right around.
Yeah.
And it looks like you said, like for us, it was like a mandatory breakfast. They check you in, and then you go to probably like a meeting, or you watch like practice of the night practice, whatever. And then you have morning practice, and then you may have like a team or position meeting, and then you have lunch, then you may have a break, then you have lift, excuse me. And then, you got lift, and then you probably have like another meeting or film, and then practice, then you watch practice. Yeah, It's a lot.
It is for sure. I'll tell you the best part. My top one of fall camp.
Go ahead.
Is how much money you save.
Fair.
Like you don't spend a cent.
You don't get out much.
Yeah.
That and there's some like fun games you like play during like film or during like with your coach, if depending on the coach, with your like position coach and your like position group and position room, with us being the quarterbacks, it's like 5 or 6 of us maybe, and then so it's like a tight knit group, and everyone's tired, so everyone gets it, so it's like hey, let's just keep going, it's gonna be good.
Yeah. Could you imagine being like a D lineman in fall camp, or like a linebacker? I always say that. I'm like, I know I would not play college if I had to wake up and hit every morning.
Yeah, those guys, I applaud them. Can you imagine not having a red jersey in practice? I mean, that sounds bad, but
yeah, my dad is probably gonna be disappointed if he hears this.
X that out. No, it's too much work to edit out. But no, there was a few times we went live maybe, or like wrap up quarterback type deal in college. But,
my freshman year, I was live for my 2 scrimmages, which I don't know. I mean, everyone's like, "Oh, you're live," and like they expect you to start trembling.
Yeah.
And I mean, as a freshman, maybe a little, but like as you grow older, like it's same old. You probably play better. Defenders don't get that automatic tackle on you, and you can actually vouch for yourself. And be like, he didn't tackle me. Yeah. Instead of just blowing the whistle, and it's just more human. So and you can juke them because they pursue you fast and then over pursue. And
I agree. I think it is weird. Like as much as I was joking about the red jersey, just like I always like getting hit first. Like once you got like in a game, once you got hit, like okay, let's go. Like there's like the nerves are gone. Same thing with like practicing, like because it is weird, like were you down, were you not down? Like would this guy have gotten you? Especially like with your game and my game being somewhat similar. Like you moved around a little bit, like just because someone's hand like grabbed your jersey, probably weren't going to get taken down, but in practice you're blowing it.
Definitely.
I was like, I was just saying, like, I was like getting hit or just having a little contact like right off the bat. Like if it was up to me, back when I played, I would like to just do some type of like QB keeper, QB option, QB run, just get a hit, get my blood going, and then I felt good about it.
Yeah, that's how Johnny was, from what I heard.
I mean,
wasn't his coach, but played for his coach.
I feel like a lot of quarterbacks are somewhat similar to that. Like you like getting hit, or you like at least getting easy throws in. You know, get you
A
comfortable.
little
Like
bubble or something.
Yeah, as cliche as that is, like you always hear announcers talk about just get them comfortable, but that's so true. You know, like if I'm a quarterback and I know, hey, I just hit a bubble and a slant, I'm 2 for 2. I'm not pressed. As opposed to if I take a deep shot or a deep out, I'm like, man, I'm over. Like in my head, I'm like, I haven't had a completion yet. It's this third drop.
Yeah.
You know? And you start pressing.
Are you counting the stats during the game?
No, I to be honest, if I could, I probably would, just knowing me. But I'd be lost in it. You know, like I'd be. No, I would never count stats, but I would know if I've gone a while without a completion.
Yeah, you can just feel that.
You can just feel like, oh my gosh, like a 3 and out again.
Mm-hmm.
But beginning of the game, definitely like give me something quick. If you want to take a shot deep, that's fine. But my next throw, I need something just like quick, just to get a completion. Mm-hmm. What about you? Did you know stats during the game?
No, I mean I'm not like sitting here. All right, 1 for 1. But at Texas State, they had like all on the board, and like when I'm like,
is that tough to like?
I'm not like purposely looking, but I'm like, okay, or I'm like, oh crap.
Yeah, and you're thinking about it.
Yeah.
I can see that.
So just don't show it.
Yeah, don't. That's tough.
Like I'm trying to look at the score, and they got the stat line.
Yeah,
and then I'm like
replay or something. You're seeing either having a good game, not good game, or medium game. That could go either way. Like, okay, I'm in the ballpark. Like a few good throws, I have a good game, or it's like a few bad throws, and this is not going to be a good game.
Yeah,
you know, you're playing right in there. You know, that's funny. What about like, were you any different coming out in the second half? Like, did you want to get comfortable, or did you already kind of feel good from the first half, or did you need to get resettled in?
No, I wouldn't necessarily say resettled in. I kind of got the vibe of the game so far. Maybe like depending on how many adjustments we're making, or like what the adjustments are. They're like, we need more quarterback run. I'm like, all right, well, let's go. It's just depending on the adjustments that you're making, but it's not like I'm feeling how I was feeling coming out first drive. So
true. Yeah, it would take me. I would hate to like. What do you do in halftime? What's your halftime?
It's different. I've been at 3 different spots, so don't even remember really at Memphis, Texas State. I was just in the room with the coaches because my coach was the head coach, and we kind of see the break or the adjustments as they're happening, and just get coached on the spot. And then and then App State was just a little different. Like the coaches go meet, and we probably got 5 minutes to get a snack or go to the bathroom, and then we have like a group meeting, and then after that, it's kind of like your position coach like breaks it down for you.
Yeah, that's kind of because you only have like 50. It's not like you.
No, it goes by fast.
Yeah,
it goes by real fast.
Because like high school, you got like 30 minutes. You get the bands for both teams. You know, like high school, you get like tired almost. Like college, is like it still feels like the bullets are going. Okay, what are we doing? Okay, let's get back out and get warmed up and go.
Mm-hmm.
But
I would agree.
You know, that's fun stuff, dude. Awesome, dude. Well, man, I think this has been a nice little off-season episode, right?
Yeah.
Talk about XFL, and then we got a cool CFL quarterback coming in later this week, and then we talked, off-season, and then we started talking about what we like how we get comfortable, and what we do at halftime.
We can go watch Danucci.
That's right. Yeah, game's starting like an hour or so. Danucci and we talked about who they're playing.
Jordan Tama.
That's right.
That's who I like both of them, so I'm excited.
Me too. Awesome. Well, as always, this is another QB Spotlight episode. If you like this type of quarterback junkie stuff, again, it's just a quarterback hub. Anything and all thing quarterback is fair game. Here we put out at least one interview each week, and then we have quarterback breakdowns, and just any quarterback topic is allowed here. So again, like, subscribe, all that YouTube stuff, and we'll see you next time.